Hello everyone, good evening. This is your host Mahesh. I'm accompanied by my colleagues Triveni Singh and Raghavendra. So today's session we are going to discuss about the full stack developer, jobs, salary and resume. And I warmly welcome you to this session organized by Edureka. This webinar, a free full stack web development webinar, we are going to discuss and we will be gaining our understanding on the full stack web development process. I hope you are ready for this, and let's get started with our journey. So today's agenda is to make you guys understand about the full stack web development process and what are the layers involved in the full stack web development and what are the types of web developers we are having, what are the roles that one of a full stack web developer will be undergoing, and what is the practice, why we need to practice full stack web development, why the industry is moving towards this path, why it is a primal focus for the industry to look forward into this path, and how to become a full stack web developer. We'll be looking into that, and also certain tools and technologies one person should know as a part of the development process. Development also involves into a direction where we'll seek monetary benefits. We'll be looking into the salary that an average full stack web developer earns, and also what is the type of resume you should be building whenever we are going into a career of full stack development, or if you're already into an experienced full stack development process, how you can enhance your resume. That also we will understand. Right? So let's get started. What is full stack web development? Full stack web development is a process where you are building a web application and you are handling the layers within your development process. So what are the layers involved into the full stack web development? There are front-end layer and there will be back-end layer in the web development process. Where a full stack developer, what his or her role will be, they will be the masters of all the areas of the development process. Hence, they were known as jack of all trades when it comes to web development. The full stack developers are knowledgeable in each and every level of how the web works. If a manager or a technical architect or a lead or a programmer approaches you with a problem statement for the web development, you as a person should be able to provide them with multiple solutions feasible for the project. That makes you to stand out from the crowd. Hence, full stack developers are very much in demand in today's market, where they are expected to provide a plethora of options for the multiple problems occurring in the web development process. What is, again, as I mentioned, the full stack development process involves a web developer being a programmer who specializes in areas where World Wide Web applications uses a client-server model. So client-server model or client-server architecture involves front-end portion, back-end portion, and the database layer. So front-end portion, it involves where we call it as the client side or the UI side. And majorly the user experiences or the customer experiences will be enhanced in this process, in this layer. In the backend layer, where the programmer will be focusing on the request handling and the responses maintenance when it comes to the backend aspects. And in the database, where we'll be storing the data. So as a web developer, each and every area is very, very important. And to encapsulate this picturization gives you a full information about what is a client and server model. Imagine that you're visiting one web application. It will involve a layer at the front end. It should be accommodated with the back end, and it should be storing the data. Imagine that you're filling out a form in the web. For example, you might be booking a bus ticket, or you might be booking IRCTC Tatkal ticket. Imagine that you're going through one of the processes where it will involve you to submit the data, process the data, and store the data, and when required, retrieve the data. So this entire process involves a model, and that model we call it as client-server model. Client is referred as the who is the entity who is making the request. Server is the computer which is handling the request, and database is the area where we are storing the data. Okay, so let's understand further about the layers of full stack web development, dig deeper into the client-server model. So layers involves a business logic layer where our main backend of the applications will be placed, the presentation layer where our front end of the applications will be placed, and the database layer where our data will be stored and retrieved. So this process is very, very important, as when we are defining this and classifying this into particular layers, it will be easy for a full stack developer or a programmer or a software engineer to handle this in the particular area. So hence this layering is very, very important in the full stack development program. So let's discuss on the presentation layer. Presentation layer or the front end layer or the UI layer or the client side layer, we call it. It will be responsible for the user experience. So if I may ask you, what is your favorite food ordering website or web application? You might have your own choices based upon your preferences. So same way, a front-end layer will be responsible for how easy is it to interact with the website that will be showcased inside the presentation layer. The more and more easy to use the presentation layer, more and more it will be flexible for the user to utilize the same. Next comes the business logic layer. Business logic layer is the layer in which if somebody is requesting you some data or somebody is requesting or submitting the data, what I have to do with it, where I have to place it, if a person is authorized to do the same, or if the person is not authorized for the same, is this person genuine? These kind of activities will be conducted in the business logic layer. In this layer, we have to track auditing also, logging mechanism, authentication, authorization. These are the slight technical terms you will be hearing in the business logic layer. Here, primary aim is if a resource is being asked, what you should be, where should be placing the data into, that will be focused here. Next, we have the database where we have to store the data. We can store the data in a simple file. We can store the data in an Excel sheet, or we can store the data in a PPT. But what is the reason for choosing the database is because faster retrieval, and when more and more data is pouring into the database, so what will going to happen? It will be very, very easy for us to retrieve the data. So in this case, what we have the database layer through which what we can do, we will be able to store any resources and retrieve when it is required. So hence, in the full stack development process, these are the only layers you will be focusing on in the process, and all other layers you will be interacting with will be on the extension of these layers. Okay. So as a full stack web developer or a programmer, what you have to do, you have to segregate which area I am working on or which area I will be focusing on. Then based on that, we can have the details. Now since we have classified the layers into the web development process, we'll have types of web developers. So as I mentioned, layers are 3. Then ideally, in olden days, there had 3 types of web developers. The front-end developer, who will be working on the front-end layer or the presentation layer or the UI layer. They will be focusing on the technologies like HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript. These are the technologies which primarily a front-end developer will be focusing on. So there are additional technologies involved like React, Angular, Vue, and additional technologies are there. But primarily in browser is only able to understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And additional tools, libraries, and frameworks are available for you to utilize them and convert them into these basic languages. So who decided the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will be the language for the web or the browser? World Wide Web Consortium. And through that, the front-end developer will be manipulating the HTML, styling certain areas of the pages, or he or she will be maintaining the logical aspects of a front-end portion. Now, once the front-end portion is completed, there will be another process where this request will be going in, or a front-end development aspects will be going in. We have the back-end development process. Back-end development process can involve multiple technologies. So we can have Java, .NET, PHP, Ruby, depending upon the project and interest that you are going into. Not limited to, if you learn JavaScript at the front end, there will be a high chance that by utilizing the Node.js knowledge, you can also you can become a backend developer as well. Okay, backend developer will be focusing on the backend layer in which the processes involved will be logging, authentication, authorization, and maintenance and auditing process will be the main thing that a backend developer will be focusing on. Next, we have if you think from a full technological aspects here, you can think that a full stack web developer will be knowing all the technologies ranging from CSS3, JavaScript, SQL, Node.js, and he or she will be platform agnostics, learning the Ubuntu platform, jQuery technologies and database and PostgreSQL, and the technologies he or she should be aware of. So roles, so now we have understood the layers of web development, and then we have understood the process in which types of web developers we will be looking into. And now we have, as a person, as a full stack web developer, what all technologies you'll be focusing. If you are a single person, these three type of developers will be combined to one, and you should be knowing all the technologies maintained here, because you will be the person who will be providing solutions to these areas here, right? So now roles of a full stack web developer, let's understand. So as per the layer itself, what we'll be doing, we'll be designing new user interactions on the websites. We will be styling them, and then by utilizing the backend technologies, what we will be doing, we will be developing the server. What do you mean by a server? Server is nothing but a computer which can handle the request coming from a browser, from a mobile app, from a tablet, any entity or any layer from the presentation layer. If you are making a request, the server which is maintained at the backend will be able to provide the necessary resources there. Databases. So as a full stack developer, you also should be maintaining the database for the website functionality, where it is uploaded or it is hosted throughout the time, and it is available throughout the time, so that it is accessible across and everybody can utilize the application. Okay. Not only that, a full stack web developer role is now being extended to multiple areas involving CI/CD process or DevOps process, and also coding for multiple mobile platforms as well. So let's extend and understand further. So as I mentioned, now in modern era, a full stack developer, if you have enrolled for this section, what you will be looking into, you will be having a front-end development activity, which you will be focusing on CSS, JS, and single-page applications you will be building up with the help of technologies like Angular 2 framework, React library, and TypeScript technologies will be helping you out with the front-end development process. Whereas with the backend, what you will be doing, you will be utilizing the technologies like JavaScript at the backend by utilizing Node.js platform, the Python technologies, PHP Go, which you will be utilizing this Express.js and mechanisms to build up the server, and designing a mechanism to handle the logging, authentication processes, or caching mechanism you will be handling as a backend role. Not limited to that, you should be also will be familiarized with how we can store the data into the database with the help of, and you should be having a knowledge in which you will be focusing on multiple databases, whether it is RDBMS or NoSQL or SQL sections you will be looking into. And based on that, what you will be doing, you will be storing how we take the backup in the database, how we retrieve the data from the database. Those activities will be maintained in the database sections. Next layer, we have the DevOps layer, which is the extension of the entire process here. In the DevOps role, what a full stack developer will be looked upon is my development process, how the new code changes, the maintenance changes are made available to the new, for the newer environment. That will be focused on the operational aspects regarding the development will be conducted in the DevOps section. The operational aspects. Imagine, think of like Flipkart. Flipkart is now upgrading their platform. So now existing platform should serve the customers. At the same time, I need to upgrade the platform. So who will be responsible here? So I need to actively develop, and then I need to maintain the operational aspects. Hence the name DevOps. So that particularly will be focusing on continuous integration, the CI process, continuous deployment. Deployment is a term which we say that if I have a new version of the software, how easily I can put it into a computer which is hosted in the cloud or which is hosted somewhere. So that process will be conducted on the CD process. During this process, we will be interacting with multiple web servers like Nginx, and there are certain additional technologies which will be involved in here, which involves from the cloud sections like AWS, Ansible, Lambda, and SQC. Since we have now extended the operational aspects, one of the new roles that the full stack developer will be looked upon is the mobile app developer. So a person who is capable enough to create a web application, now is looked upon to create an application which is working platform agnostic, and also it should work in multiple devices as well. So how we can create a hybrid applications and Android, supporting iOS, Android, and any device that we can build upon using the technologies like PhoneGap, Cordova, and React Native. This will be looked upon additionally in a role of a full stack developer. So these will be the roles majorly played by the full stack developer in this modern 2023 area. So why we should become a full stack developer? What is the benefit that you are getting? So why? So let's understand the process here. A full stack developer will know a plethora of tools. He or she should be able to handle anything at the presentation layer, backend layer, and the database layer. He or she should be able to design a fantastic UI so that he or she can bring in larger customer base. He will not be sitting idle in terms of not providing the solution, but if any problem is coming, so that problem can be addressed for the company, and based on that, they can develop a number of solutions for that problem. So hence, they will be a masters of variety of rules and the development approaches maintained in them. As they know everything aspects, the attitude also brings in, and in the companies which are favoring this attitude also pays them very handsomely. So they know about the content very well. They know how to resolve it. They will not take much time to resolve it. And what they bring to the table, the cost and saving and maintaining, and also bringing to the new product into the market, that will be focused on in this full stack development role. Okay, so now let's focus into front-end development. So we understood about the entire process. Now little dig further into front-end development. Let's make our criteria more feasible in terms of how each layer will be extended in terms of the technologies. So front-end layer involves HTML. So what is the current version of HTML? Current version of HTML is HTML5. What is HTML? Hypertext Markup Language. Our browsers are written in such a way that it cannot understand basic text or English or any other regional language. It will not be understanding. It has to be understood with brackets. So this angular brackets, through which what you will do, will display the content into the web page. So DOM, Document Object Model. Whatever the element that we are writing, it can be a div element, or it can be any input element, or it can be any section element, how we are placing them and how is the structure, how we have to display, that will be the major focus of hypertext markup language. Imagine that you have been told that I want to place this content just below here. How you would be placing that? That will be the major criteria that you'll be looking upon whenever you're learning hypertext markup language or HTML. So how should I have to occupy this space? How I can segregate this area with height and width? I want to keep an aside of this section so that I can maintain this portions. How I can keep a lower layer in this that will be maintained, right? So that will be the major activity of the hypertext markup language. Here you will be majorly focusing on how you will structure your content so that there is easiness in viewing the content. That will be focusing. A website which is having a high user experience is often very smooth to interact with, and it has a very neat and tidy hypertext markup language. Then we have the CSS. CSS current version is CSS 3, and it's known as cascading style sheets. So what do you mean by cascading style sheets? If I have a content in my page, I can try to utilize styling by using hypertext markup language. But the problem is when it comes to more and more styling, it will be becoming more and more hectic to maintain inside HTML. So hence we have the cascading style sheets. This cascading style sheets will be responsible for styling a particular area, styling a particular content in our web applications. For example, if you see the previous content, all the pages where everything was like little blunt, meaning like it was not very smooth in terms of segregating the areas. But by applying the header here, you can see it creates a differentiation, and now it automatically brings a confidence in the users that there is a search here, there is some interactions here which I can lean into. And also we can narrow down as per the devices, and you can place the content appropriately. Also, in order to classify and differentiate between several contents, we can also bring in the styling aspects involving multiple coloration sources. And involving, so for example, if you are having a button and you want to click certain sections here, you can interact that, and based on that, this cascading style sheet will be helping you to do customizing your HTML markup with the cascading style sheet processes. Okay, so next is the major technology called JavaScript. JavaScript, if you are a web programmer, web developer, or you into web development, you should be mastering JavaScript. If you are learning Angular, React, Vue, whichever technology is in the front end section, your browser will be understanding everything at the end by using JavaScript only. And the current version of JavaScript is ES14, or we call it as ECMAScript 2023. So because of the naming conventions, people might get confused and come and match it with Java technology, but it is nothing to do with Java. JavaScript is a separate technology created by Brendan Eich at Mozilla, and based on which we have a current version of ES14. But the most popular version of JavaScript is ES6 or ECMAScript 2015. So what this JavaScript will do? So we have the HTML content. We know that the styling aspects is maintained by the CSS. Now, what does JavaScript does? JavaScript are nothing but scripts. These are written scripts which help us in performing certain activity within the page. So how JavaScript is executed? JavaScript, when we are writing a script, what will happen? We'll be binding them inside the HTML, and how whenever we are performing certain interaction, our browsers has engines. For example, our Chrome has a V8 engine. It's just like a car's engine. When you put fuel into the engine, what is going to happen? When you start you can start the engine, and then the vehicle will be moving forward. Similarly, various browsers have different JavaScript engine through which what they will do, they process the JavaScript's code based upon the functionality. So JavaScript code, whenever a browser is interacted with, what is happening? Your script is getting executed with the help of the JavaScript engine. So for example, here, imagine that there is a button. On click of this button, what we'll do, they have to perform a certain functionality and we have to navigate to this page. So if you want to do that, you can do that with the help of a minor hyperlink also. You don't need JavaScript for that. But imagine that you want to display something, or whenever you're navigating, you have to take the user data. So in this situation, the flexible option involves JavaScript usage. JavaScript till 2007, it was considered as a it's as a scripting language, which involved only DOM manipulation or DOM traversal, meaning like it is used to identify an element in an HTML page and it used to modify the page. That's all. But after 2007, with the invention of Node.js, what has happened? The community became so vast that even it paved the way for full stack web developer processes, in which the stack language will be JavaScript, which the person can code in front end and back end. That much flexibility JavaScript offers in the modern era, and the community is so welcoming and so warmly addresses the issues in the current industry, so that JavaScript became so popular for the web development choices. Okay, now coming to the backend development activity, what you will be focusing on from the backend section. So now we have utilized HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and what we have landed here, we have utilized and placed our user content in our page and showcased it. But imagine that we are not building static web pages. We are building dynamic web pages. What do you mean by dynamic web pages? Your users will be interacting with the pages here. So with these pages, what is going to happen? You will be making a request to the server. A server is nothing but a computer. And based on that, what we will do? We will be interacting with the with our request. And based on that, what we will do? We will be able to gather the request. So once that is done, what is going to happen? A web server is a computer through which what we will do? We will be able to interact with our web applications, and the application requests will be placed into a computer. And based on that, what is going to happen? A database will be involved if there is a storage. And if there is a retrieval involved, there will be retrieval process as well. So for example, if you are using, or if you are going for a shopping cart, what you will do, you will add the items in the shopping cart. So what is happening? The web server will remember your choices. And if imagine that you have not processed the order, the next time when you visit it, the web server will be taking the request and giving you that you have selected these items, sir or madam, you have selected this. So are you going to proceed with your transactions? It will still remember. So web server is an entity through which what you will do, you will be able to handle the processes here. So what you will do, you will be able to handle the process, handle the request from the client side or UI side or the front end layer or the presentation layer, and they will be able to place the data which is being utilized and placing them into the database section. So the web server, the area where we are dealing with here, you can see that we can develop by using various technologies like Java, PHP, Node.js, etc. You can leverage and you can code as per your preferred language. There is no necessity that one person who only be knowing one particular language will be known as a full stack developer. A person who can bring in a solution, how we are storing the data into database, how we are taking the data backups, how are we retrieving the details, etc. So that person will be deemed under the role of the backend developer section. And in the database section, as you can see that in the database, we will be getting we will have choices how we are going to store the data, whether it will be in a structured manner or a non-structured manner, or how faster you want to retrieve, or where you want to perform, or what is your activity, whether are you going to perform any data analytics aspects, or are you going to simply store the data and retrieve. So those categories will be falling under the database section, and based on that, what you can do, you will be able to utilize those processes. Okay, so being said that this will be the most technologies involved in this entire processes, be covering the front end layer, the back end section, and the database section. So important web development tools and technology. We did everything. We did cover about the technology. We did cover that there will be a process involved, etc. We have covered. Now, as a developer, he or she should be knowing certain tools along with the development process. Why it is very critical? Because whenever you are joining projects, even though from a fresher, there are certain expectations that if you are tagged with a full stack developer role, the problems are you need to know these technologies. That kind of a mindset are already been prepared from the project setups. So one of the things you should be aware is code editor. So why code editors are required? The place where I'll be writing my code. You can have multiple choices as per your framework and as per your preferences. But mostly in the modern era, the VS Code is one of the top choices when it comes to web development process and into full stack web development, offering multiple extensions, servers, and also it has multiple options when it comes to the technologies like Angular, React, and Node, PHP, and Python. Similarly, we have Sublime Text. It's another one of the good tools which you can utilize for the smoothness and for their UI. For that purpose, we can always refer into Sublime Text. Okay, code editors are the area in which what it is going to do. It is an interactive area where you'll be writing the code, processing the code, and it also has integrated terminal to process and build or compile your code as well. So these are very, very important when it comes to the development process. These code editors will be having the knowledge on the developers on these editors should be enabled whenever they are joining the projects will be looked upon. Then we have the version control system. What do you mean by version control system? Imagine that we have a set of people who wants to code and we want to share the code among ourselves. Or whenever we are working in projects, we have to share our code for sure. So at that time, we cannot share the code via using Explorer, or we cannot use any other tools for that. So industry has designed a mechanism called version control system through which what you can do, you can maintain the code for your project. It can be for the entire project level or minorly on a simple file level. Also, you can provide an auditing mechanism. So version control systems are popular in the industry, and one of the most modern and 100% must have known tool is Git. So you should be understanding about what is Git. Certain Git commands you have to learn, such as how we can clone as a repository. A repository is nothing but an area where we are keeping our code. So how we can store the repository, or how we can retrieve, how we can clone it, how we can pull it, fetch it. Nearly around 6 commands you need to know, and that will become your bread and butter on a daily activity when it comes to the maintaining your code and making it available to other team members as well. So based on that, what we can do, we will be able to handle multiple scenarios when it comes to sharing our repo and maintaining our codes here. So in the industry, we follow different platforms and different environments. In order to maintain it, we need to must have the version control system, one being Git, another being Apache Subversion or Tortoise SVN are the other version control systems in the market. So based upon the project, you will be definitely encountering any of the version systems, and based on that, you need to gather the knowledge there. Now, another aspects, since we know about the code editors, now we know about the version control system, we now need to know about the modern frameworks. Why it is required you to learn the modern frameworks, or a full stack developer should know the modern framework? Speed. We need to achieve speed in the market. So if you are a person who knows this technology and you are well versed to identify the problem and give the solution before the other person, then you will be hired. The same approach is being conducted here, and so many technologies, if you are knowing the real advantage you are having. For example, React is bringing virtual DOM. Angular does not have it. So if in a project, if you are bringing that concept, then it will be very, very fruitful for the project in enhancing the speed of the website. A simple example. So same way, JavaScript framework technologies and libraries should use as a full stack developer should be aware, so that he or she can work with it. Now, another aspects that a full stack in the full stack web development process one must know is the interactions are happening over web, the internet. So you can see in the URL that if you type on the lock symbol, etc., there will be an area where we are seeing the HTTP connections. So since there are interactions between the web, the World Wide Web, so interactions from any entities like a mobile, laptop, or browser, what is happening? You will be interacting, you will be making a request. This request is coming under a protocol called hypertext transfer protocol. And through the representational state transfer, what you will be doing, you will be making a request to the server. And through that, the interactions are happening and your data will be given back to the client or the requested party. So during this process, we should be knowing some of the methods like get, put, post, and what are the advantages of using REST, and what are the disadvantages and what are the advances in this protocol maintenance also we'll be looking upon when it comes to the processing. Now, we explained about all the processes, we explained about all the details, and now majorly, what is the monetary benefit? So at the end, if I learn this, what is the major aspects that I'll be looking into? The monetary aspects or the salary that of a full stack web developer. So if I see the salary of a full stack developer, the average salary of a full stack developer in India is 3,75,000. Okay, so that this number is fluctuating and depends upon how you have been evaluated and how you can bring solutions into the table. So if you can, in your interview process or in your projects, if you are bringing in more and more solutions to the commonly occurring problems, then the salary package will be very, very high, even during your interview process. A full stack developer with experience ranging from 1 to 4 years of experience earns a standard salary of ranging from 5 lakh onwards. And if you see the market trend right now, the full stack developer reported salaries in LinkedIn and also during our various Indeed portal or LinkedIn, etc. A software engineer salary range above 30 lakhs, senior full stack developer with the experience against 23 lakhs per year, and also we have full stack developer, senior software engineer, and full stack engineers ranging the salary of 19 lakh onwards. So monetary benefits are huge, and with the experience that you gain, you will be looked upon into a highly monetized network where your net worth will be very, very high whenever you're gaining the experience. The more the experience then a full stack developer becomes, the more the value that organizations will be getting, and more the people will be giving you on your net worth as well. So based on that, this is the average sections that you can look upon. Now coming to a sample of a full stack development resume, how it looks like, or a full stack developer, web developer resume looks like. So you can see in this case, so we have a simple resume here. What all things you can mention during your full stack web developer post is, if you have worked into some, if there will be two considerations here. Either you will be a fresher, or you will be either enhancing your career or changing the domain. So being said that, what you have to do, you have to mention in your resume the front-end portion, the back-end portion, and the database technology that you have worked into, so that it gives a clear picture for your interviewer that, or your projects, that how you should be questioned on, how you should be categorized on, that will be maintained by this statement. Now, make sure that all the technologies you have worked are relevant to the role. For example, if you are maintaining HTML, don't maintain it under database layer. If you are maintaining CSS, if you are mentioning about CSS, don't maintain it under the data on the backend layer. And the activities involved on the CSS should be matching your front-end portion. So based on that, what we can do, we can make sure that these technologies or frameworks are relevant to that particular role you're applying. And based on that, you can build your resume. You can also bring in, like, you can maintain the statements like, I have 5 years of experience into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I have been preparing and building web applications like HTML pages. I have created 20-30 pages in my college projects, and I have been creating POCs in React, Angular. I have been building a Node.js mechanism involving logging, authentications at the backend layer. I have been able to retrieve and store entries of data from the database. You can maintain it. And what is that business? By doing so, what is the benefit that you have done? That also, if you mention, that will be a great highlight in your project. For example, when we see 10 resumes, one that resume stands out is what is the benefit that your process have improved in the full stack web development process. Or if a company is going to hire you, what is that you are bringing into the table? That will be the major criteria from a resume that everybody will be looked up. So for example, in here, if you can see, this is a sample resume which involves this process. As you can see that full stack developer, the resume headline, you can mention like your name, what is your role, which role you're tagged on, your communication information you can mention at the right hand side. This is the a header of your resume, in which you can mention briefly about the experiences here. So even if you have very less experience, even that you can mention it, full stack developer or new full stack developer with experience in bringing for front end and back end development and performing quality assurance. Led teams of 5 to 10 people if you led any teams, or you can skip this statement if you are very new to the full stack developer process. During that time, what you can do, you can mention your resumes involving which the experience you have harnessed. So this is an experienced resume in which the person has mentioned about the companies he has worked on, the role he has worked on, the year from which you have supported the project, and the activities conducted in the project, and the skills the person is having here. Same way, you can extend and maintain the details here, providing the information about the other projects here. As you can see, web developer July 2016 to January 2020 supported, and the activities conducted here, you can maintain it here. So as a fresher, what you can do, you can always come with EOC projects, and also you can mention if you have enrolled for Edureka program, you can always mention the Edureka support projects, supporting the Edureka projects through which you will be getting certified with, through which you can mention even the Edureka projects also where you have performed, and you can gain the confidence in each process you can mention. Similarly, even after that, you can also mention the educational qualification you will be holding and all achievements you have maintained or gathered during your college times, or during the achievements during your project time or company time, you can maintain it. And if you wish to have any accolades you want to maintain, that also you can maintain it here. So this is an aspects in which I always carry forward the process of full stack web development, and always give information to the learners and the aspirants that a full stack web development career is a beautiful career in which the experience gained is always added on the net worth. So being said that, now I am introducing Raghavendra, my colleague. He will be taking the session now onwards. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mahesh, for sharing your valuable insights with us. Am I audible?
Yes, Raghavendra.
Is my screen visible, Mahesh?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting webinar. I'm Raghavendra, and I'm working as an area adjunct faculty quality coordinator in Edureka Learning Center, and I'll be your host for the next part of this session. I would like to take a moment to introduce you all with the Edureka Learning Center and provide you with some insights into and what we do. At Edureka Learning Center, our mission is to make you tech ready and job ready. You can kickstart your tech career by learning the skills that the industry demands. So you can choose from the trending and emerging tech courses that we have to unleash your employment potential. Our vision is to empower individuals and organizations worldwide to excel in their careers and achieve their professional goals. So we believe that continuous learning is the key to success in today's fast-paced and dynamic world. So for the next 15 to 20 minutes, let us have a discussion on how you can join us at Edureka Learning Center to pursue the courses of your interest, like full stack web development and many more. So let us discuss on bridging the gap in India employment sector. So there is some statistics here taken from India Skills Report 2021. You can see from the graph here as how the employability has changed over the years from 2015 to 2021. So there is a steady rate of growth from 37.22% in 2015 to 46% in 2021. So this graph is growing up, and which is a good sign for students who are who are graduating every year. So, but on the other hand, the domains which have more employable talent is decreasing every year. You can see here, which means colleges are producing graduates and who are less likely to be employable. So this is again a matter of concern in Indian tech sector employability. So on researching the causes for this, we have got some causes and we have got some gaps. So it is evident that we are still following archaic or obsolete curriculum in academics at colleges. So we can see there is a fast-paced tech disruption always happening around, and there is a industry academia disconnect. What we can see here is there is an industry academia disconnect. So what industry wants is not seen as a part of curriculum in most of the cases. So these are some of the reasons for that decreasing employable rate, what we have seen in the last slide. So at Edureka Learning Center, our mission is to provide high quality industry relevant training and skill development programs that bridge the gap between academia and the need of ever evolving job market. So we strive to equip individuals with the knowledge, skills, and confidence necessary to thrive in their chosen fields. So what sets Edureka Learning Center apart is our unique approach to learning. We offer a comprehensive range of courses and programs delivered through a blend of online and instructor-led live classes. So this is our pedagogy and delivery highlights. We have 100% practice-oriented curriculum. All our courses are designed in collaboration with industry experts. They ensure up-to-date, practical, and aligned with the latest trends and technologies. We have faculty-led blended programs. We have a team of seasoned professionals with extensive industry experience who bring real-world insights to the learning experience. We have world-class LMS, which is integrated with virtual labs. We are having a complete pandemic-proof framework. We have online assessments. We believe in learning by doing. So all our courses incorporate mini projects, major projects, and assignments that help you to apply your knowledge to practical scenarios. So we have a continuous career preparation plan through our soft skill sessions as well. So this is our program structure that we follow across all our courses. They have nearly 200 learning hours, which includes assessment hours dedicated to each and every module you learn. The courses are of 4 months duration, which are scattered over 6 days a week with 2 hours per day sessions. We will be having masterclass on weekends handled by industry experts, through which you will be able to interact with experts in the domain. So added to this, you will be having online live instructor-led training courses 1 hour per day, which ensures that each and every student's queries are resolved promptly and they have a seamless learning experience at us. So our courses are designed to fit into busy schedules also. You can choose from flexible learning modes, including self-paced learning and live interactive classes also that will suit your preferences. So this is how a day in ELC look like. In our super flagship program, that is online instructor-led training, participants in this program benefit from the live interactions with instructors during 60-minute sessions. These real-time interactions enable immediate clarification of doubts and more engaging learning experience. There will be query resolution sessions for 15 minutes, which offer dedicated time to participants to ask questions and receive real-time resolutions from the instructors. So a student need to visit Edureka Learning Center at the allotted time slot. So he has to go through the recap of previous day's learning followed by a micro quiz. Then he has to go to the next LU. LU means learning unit. LMS means learning management system. So for the next 25 minutes, he has to go to the LU learning unit followed by micro quiz and its solution by the faculty. Then for the next 25 minutes, he has to go to LU2 of the day, that is next learning unit, followed by micro quiz and its solution by the faculty again. There will be a dedicated adjunct faculty for you all at our centers. Then we have a DIY, that is do it yourself session. So students here practice the concepts learned in the LUs on the cloud lab, or if it is FSWD, they'll practice in Visual Studio Code, and then based on a step-by-step DIY guide, they'll do it. Then they'll have a revision for 15 minutes what they have learned. So the faculty present at the center explains the DIY, practice components and answers the student queries. So at the end, we will unlock the next LU, and we will tell you what will be there for the next day. That is pre-cap of the next day. So collaborative learning activities foster interaction among learners, promoting knowledge exchange and peer learning. Adjunct faculty, as I already told you, supports each and every student in their DIYs and all the classes. Learners are required to complete 8 mini projects and an industry graded project to apply the knowledge and skills acquired during the training. There will be interview questions module wise, which offers specialized modules with interview related content, helping learners enhance their interview skills also. And lastly, all the live classes in the Super Flagship program are recorded and made available in our learning management system, that is LMS, allowing learners to review the sessions at their convenience time. So this is about placement support highlights. So at Edureka Learning Center, we not only focus on providing the top-notch training and skill development programs, but we are also committed to ensure that our learners achieve their career goals. We understand the importance of securing a rewarding job in today's competitive landscape, and that's why we offer extensive placement support to all our learners. Resume building and profile building, we assist our learners in creating professional resumes that highlight their skills, achievements, and experience. Our team of experts guide you in optimizing your profile on professional networking platforms to increase your visibility to potential employers. So we provide you comprehensive interview preparation sessions, soft skill training sessions, which covers a range of topics, including commonly asked interview questions and effective communication techniques also. And we showcase your skills and expertise. Our goal is to equip you with confidence and skills needed to ace your job interviews. Job portals and connections with Edureka has strong connections with numerous hiring partners and organizations across various industries. So we leverage these partnerships to provide you with exclusive access to job portals and connect you with potential employers who are actively seeking skilled professionals like you. So we have a dedicated placement terminal called Elevate, which is exclusively for ELC students. Our students need not to apply in Naukri.com or Monster.com for jobs. We have our own platform that we will fulfill our more than 200 B2B partners hiring needs through it. Mock interviews and feedbacks will be given to you to help you refine your interview skills. We conduct mock interview that simulate real-world interview scenarios. So our expert panel evaluates your performance and provides constructive feedback to you, which will enable you to identify your areas of improvement and enhance your interview techniques. All our courses are accredited by NASSCOM and approved by Government of India. So National Association of Software and Service Companies, in short, it is called as NASSCOM. It is a premier industry association in India. It represents and fosters the growth of the IT and IT-enabled service sectors. So NASSCOM accreditation is a hallmark of quality and credibility in the IT and training industry. So it signifies that the accredited organization upholds the highest standards of excellence in terms of course content, delivery, and outcomes. So it is an assurance that the courses offered by the organization meet industry benchmarks and are aligned with current market demands. So it's an honor to us to announce that ELC has received the prestigious NASSCOM accreditation for all of its courses. So this recognition further solidifies Edureka's commitment to delivering exceptional learning experiences and ensuring industry relevance. So NASSCOM accreditation signifies that ELC courses have been rigorously evaluated and endorsed by industry experts. So it enhances the credibility of your credentials and validates your expertise in the eyes of employers. So by pursuing NASSCOM accredited courses with ELC, you'll be provided with the scholarships worth rupees 8,000, and the most important thing is you will gain access to the vast network of industry professionals, fellow learners, and experts. So this network can provide valuable connections, insights, and opportunities for collaboration and your career growth. So NASSCOM accreditation is a testament to our unwavering commitment to delivering high quality industry relevant courses. It reinforces our position as a trusted training provider and ensures that your learning experience with us aligns with highest industry standards. So Edureka maintains a strong presence on various social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Over last decade, as a pioneer in Indian EdTech community, we have over 1 million happy learners who have trusted us, and we have around 3.4 million YouTube subscribers who are actively learning with us, with more than 300 million views for our videos. So these are some of the statistics which talk about our success in the edtech domain. Then these are our academic partners whom we will make part of our team while preparing curriculum for our courses. They include IIT Guwahati, IMT, NIT Warangal, Purdue University, IIT DM Kurnool, and some of our alumni work at Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Yahoo, IBM, Samsung, and the list grows. So these are some of our corporate partners. They include KPMG, Accenture, TCS, Benz, and many more. I think you don't need introduction for them. So this is a glimpse of one of our centers. So all our centers are integrated with ELC labs as well as to promote 100% practice oriented approach that we have promised for. So at ELC, we believe in power of community and collaboration. We have a vibrant and diverse community of learners where you can connect with like-minded individuals, share your ideas, and seek guidance from experts.